Jags Nation. This is the Action Sports Jags postgame show, sponsored by Farah and Farah, the exclusive injury law firm of the Jaguars.
Oh, sigh, relief, joy, happiness, win. Jaguars get it done at the bank, 26-0 over not a very good Carolina team. All right, everybody, Dan Hicken. Happy Dan Hicken. Happy New Year, everybody. No ranting today. We'll just take this win and run with it and get to 9-7 and be in position now for a trip to Nashville and an AFC South Championship for the second straight year on the line against Tennessee, just like 1 year ago. This year it's a little bit different because Tennessee can't win it, so they will only be playing spoiler. They just tried to play spoiler against Houston and lost. Everybody won in the South. So everybody's 9-7, and it comes down to the division next week with the Jaguars and the Tennessee Titans. Houston and Indy play each other as well. We're going to go over all the playoff possibilities later, but the Jags can get in a wild card scenario, and it's not that far-fetched for them, even if they don't win. But you want to win the South. You want to take care of business. You want to go up to Nashville, and you want to get a victory. And what the Jaguars did today is something, and Doug Pederson, I'm sure, is going to talk about this. They played clean football for the first time in a month. Finally, they played clean football. They took care of the ball, no turnovers. Penalties, I think they had one today. And they stuck with the run, right? They stuck with the run, and in the end, ETN broke one for 62. And they decided, all right, look, the rookie Bigsby's going to get the ball today. We're going to split up because we're going to run it a lot. We're not going to run it 6 times, and they can't run the ball. But you know what? They stay with it, and it helps in the game because it chews up the clock. You got a backup quarterback. You're missing your key receivers. So I think all in all, it was a great strategy today by the Jaguars against, again, thankfully it was Carolina on the schedule. Here's what I think. I think the Jags can play like this and win in Tennessee. Tennessee's not good. Will Levis went down today. Tannehill came in, I'm assuming. I don't know how severe he was injured. Next week will be Derrick Henry's probably last game as a Titan in Tennessee, so they're going to want to send him out in style. So they'll have stuff to play for as well. But this is what I think. I think you can play this kind of game and beat the Titans. And that's what they need to do. Then you'll worry about the playoffs because you can't play like this and win in the postseason, I don't think. But that, again, that's neither here nor there. Enjoy the win, snap the 4-game losing streak, get to 9-7, have a chance to have a 10-win season, which would be huge, have a chance to win 2 AFC South championships, which would be huge. It's just good. It's a good feeling to win again. And the Jaguars did it with defense and pitched a shutout and had 6 sacks, which on a side note is not great for me, but nonetheless, it's good for the team. And congrats to Josh Allen, who set the franchise record. What do you have, 3 today? He has 16.5 now on the season. Trayvon Walker, who's been maligned here in Jacksonville, has now 9 on the season, so good for him. He's only a half sack behind the other guy who was taken ahead of him, who's had a great game last night as well. So, yeah, all in all, just a great, great day by the defense. And listen, it's not a good offense at all by the Carolina Panthers. I feel bad for Bryce Young. It ain't all his fault. If you're a Carolina fan, you can't, shut the door on Bryce Young yet. You can't sit there and say, we got the wrong guy. You got to let that kid grow because you've given him no chance to succeed. It was like 5 Mississippi at most before today. And again, C.J. Beathard, okay, that's fine. We'll take that. 17 of 24, 178, 1 long pass to Jamal Agnew, 92 rating. Bryce Young only threw for 112 yards because all he could do is nickel and dime it. And that's a bad offense, man. I mean, a really bad offense. And our guy, DJ Chark, he could still get deep. He could still run. Having trouble holding on to the football, though. C.J. Beathard, hats off to him. Did what he had to do. You know what you do? That means you get to come back next year, CJ, because you took care of business. Look, you make a nice salary. You're the backup quarterback, and you did what a backup quarterback is supposed to do. So tip of the cap to you. Might want to slide a little bit. You got to remember, we don't have much behind you, CJ. So in these situations, it's not that critical that you slide. Go ahead and slide. Everything's okay if you slide. He had to leave the game one time. I don't know if it was a stinger, a concussion, or whatever. Went in the tent, got checked out. He was fine, came back in after one play. Matt Barkley also got to finish it up. All in all, listen, a terrific win for the Jacksonville Jaguars because of where they stand. Any win today would have been a terrific win. And that's what you do. So I think the Jags were able to get it done. They did a great job. And we're victorious today, 26-0. Again, tip of the cap to the defense. Efficient enough on offense. Stuck with the run. Hit Ridley on a few outs, which I thought was important. Got Agnew deep one time. All in all, you take it and you start pointing ahead. You start looking ahead already to a showdown next week in Tennessee where, again, you fix things finally today. So now, clean football. ETN because of the 62-yarder. If he doesn't have the 62-yarder, man, did he want that touchdown, didn't he? Because of that 62-yarder. Otherwise, he's 15 for 40. That's why you stick with the run. 16 for 102, 2 touchdowns. Evan Ingram, 6 more catches. 104 now on the year. Third best in franchise history. And only 12 away from tying the franchise record for the most catches in a single season. Calvin Ridley, 4 for 39. We'll take it. Jamal Agnew, 2 for 53. Left the game injured. It is what it is. We're a beat-up football team, man. And you know what I loved at the end of the game? Normally I wouldn't, but Cam Robinson sticking up for one of his teammates who got pushed by Derek Brown. Cam Robinson said, "You're not going to push my guy." Cam Robinson shoved back. Cam Robinson then grabbed Derek Brown's helmet. Tug, 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 tug. Helmet got tossed. Not by Cam, by the way, I don't believe. Got ejected. I don't care. I need that. I need that toughness. I need that. I called it on Twitter badassery. I don't think that's a word, Stuart. Stuart Weber's here. He got 1,600 on his SATs. I don't think badassery is going to fly. But I need that badassery from someone on the Jags, and that's what Cam provides. So listen, with Cam Robinson in the lineup, I believe the Jags are 7-1 now. Now, again, I'm taking it all with a grain of salt. I'm not ready to put us in the Super Bowl again. I just want to win the South. I want to win the South and go from there.
Obviously, after 4 weeks of a little bit of heartbreak, it's the one thing I appreciate about our guys is they continue to roll up their sleeves. They continue to go to work. They know the mistakes they've made, right? That we've been making. But yet they continue to work, and they continue to work hard during the week, and it showed today. It might not have been like just a pretty football game, but they never are. They're hard, they're gritty, they're tough, they're physical, all that kind of stuff, and just proud of our guys for the way they competed today.
Doug, now it's a win and in scenario next week with the Titans. Could you just talk about how just the approach to that game and just another, like last year, got to win and get in?
Yeah, coming down to week 18. I mean, that's just, I think our guys really thrive on these situations, and that's okay. It's a great opportunity for our organization, for our franchise, for our players, for our owner, to be in this situation, and we got to go play another good football team on the road, and we'll enjoy this one obviously, and prepare this week whenever we play.
As a follow-up, could you talk about the performance of C.J. Beathard today? No pre-snap penalties by your guys. Pretty efficient. Didn't cash in on some red zone opportunities, but other than that, no turnovers.
Yeah, I mean, I thought C.J. played smart. He played tough. Came back in after being checked. He ran the offense, and credit the offensive line, especially in the second half of really kind of taking over and helping out in the run game. And and the thing too sometimes is when your starter's out, your backup's in, I think the focus, the attention is a little bit, little guys are a little more zeroed in. And we saw that today really from not only the offense, but I think the defense as well.
On that, the defense turned in its best performance of the season. Is that just maybe a result of what they've gone through the last 4 weeks, not having maybe the success that they wanted?
Yeah, it hasn't been what we wanted, obviously. I thought today they responded, well. obviously, to have the shutout and really play a solid football game. I'm sure there's going to be some things to clean up, as we look at this film. But the defense responded too, and played a really good game today.
Doug, first, congratulations on the win. Happy New Year. Also, even though that you got stopped in the red zone a number of times, how important was it to get Brandon's confidence again, because he had all the field goals today?
Yeah, I mean, that's part of it. Obviously we would have loved to score the touchdowns, in those situations, but too, to have Brandon out there and make those kicks like he did, I mean, that's good for his confidence, moving forward. Hats off to him. I mean, he's battled through a little adversity of his own, here lately, and it was good to see him respond.
And as a follow-up, you as a longtime coach, assistant, or head coach, was there any kind of a story that you could have told these guys about when it gets tough? This is how we got through this, or anything like that, or just
no,
business
not
as
really.
usual?
I mean, it's I keep everything sort of in the present and in the moment, and try to be more forward thinking. But I still want to. We got to learn from the past. We got to learn from our mistakes, and all of that. But there wasn't anything that I needed to really tell these guys or show these guys, and they just know. They just understand.
Hey, Doug, we didn't get a chance to talk to you Friday. Trevor, shoulder, where is he on that? And is this a thing where you're not sure if he could play next week, or was this a game where you just wanted to kind of rest him to make sure everything was good for him?
Yeah, there was really, for this game, there was really no chance of him getting out there. We'll see how he is this week, obviously. If we play Saturday or Sunday, it all depends. But he'll do everything he can to try to get back out there if possible. If not, CJ will be ready to go, and we'll have Matt ready.
And Josh sets a single-season franchise record with, I guess he's, 16 and a half sacks now. What can you say about the year he's had, and then specifically today, too?
Yeah, Josh he's had a heck of a season. And, today was a great performance by him. But I think he'd understand, and he knows that the other 10 guys are doing their jobs, too, which helps him get back there to the quarterback, and congratulations to him for setting that mark. I mean, those are big numbers. He's been good all season, been consistent, been steady, and just congratulations to him and really the whole defense for that performance today.
Coach, another milestone guy. Your tight end, Evan Ingram, second Jaguars player ever, over 100 receptions in a season. You had a guy in Zach Ertz in Philly who you coached, who to similar kind of numbers. A little bit comparison between those two guys and how you've been able to use them so effectively in your offenses.
Yeah, I mean, they're, the tight ends can be the, kind of a quarterback's best friend sometimes. And, Evan's been that way for Trevor, the last couple of seasons. He was that way today for CJ. And he just, listen, he's a great leader. He leads a lot by example, really. During the week, how he's out to practice early, working on his craft, always catching something, whether it be a tennis ball or a football or something, anybody can throw at him, and he challenges himself. And that's why he's in these positions, right? And that's why he's, getting the accolades and the praise that he deserves, and it's just because of who he is as a person and the way he works and challenges himself.
Doug, you've mentioned before guys having to step up when the backup's in. Is that what you saw from the skill room today? It seemed like some tough catches.
From who?
The skill guys. It seemed like tough catches, tough runs.
Yeah. It's just kind of where we are, and our teams aren't going to make excuses for us. We're not going to make excuses. We got to make sure we're coaching the next guy up and putting them in positions to help us today. And I thought that they really did some good things. They stepped up, and what do they say? It's gritty, it's not pretty. And they just hung in there and battled it out.
Okay, we're going to wrap it up over. 2 winning seasons for this franchise. I know you got more to clinch this year, but can you talk about that? I think it's been since 2005 that this franchise has had 2 consecutive winning seasons in a row. The importance of that, when you came in, it was kind of on a downturn, and the significance of it.
Yeah, I mean, it's obviously, that's why That's why we're all here. It is to win, and that's a credit really to the coaches. It's a credit to the guys in the locker room. And just you got to consistently have guys on your team that speak the same common language. Guys that work hard every single day, every single week. No matter what happens, they work through adversity. They work through injury, and just proud of the guys. 2 years in a row. We got obviously one more game. Next weekend to hopefully get to 10. But we're going to do everything we can to put something together and go back on the road.
Pederson and his post-game comments. You heard what he had to say. Not really. As we roll on here with the post-game show. Who did Brent talk to? Trayvon Walker? Do we have that, Liv? Well, why don't we play that, too, for the people? We'll fix it later. Here's Trayvon Walker and Brent right after the game.
Couldn't have scripted it any better for the Jacksonville Jaguars in the regular season home finale. Sent the fans out with a lot of smiles and a dominating performance on the defensive side. Trayvon Walker, a couple of sacks. It's what you guys had to do, come away with a win.
Yes, sir. Coming off of these last couple of weeks, we know we had to get back to ourselves on defense, just keeping them from scoring any points. We know if they don't score any points, then they can't win. It was a gut check for everybody mentally, and everybody just had to look into the mirror and figure out what we was doing. And that's when we came and corrected everything, I feel like, today.
There are games like this where you feel like you've got an advantage or you can dominate up front. Did you feel it early?
Yes, sir. We definitely felt it early. We knew that they was coming into the game. We knew they didn't have anything to lose, and we had everything to lose. So that just made us play to an even higher standard than we knew we could play.
2 sacks for you, 3 for Josh. He gets the record. What a season for both of you, but how about the season for him?
Yes, sir. Josh, he's been one of those guys. He's worked so hard throughout the offseason. Even though he took that time away to himself to make sure that he was progressing how he wanted to progress, he came back and just got around everybody on the team. And that bond never left from the defense, and you could tell that he really put that work in the offseason. He deserves it. I'm proud of him.
Win next week, and you go to the playoffs, everything on the line. You like that?
Yes, sir. I love it. Everything is right there in our hands. Like we could have been sealed the deal a long time ago, but we can't look back in the past. Now we just got to continue moving forward as we go along. Everything that we want is in front of us still.
Thanks, man.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Happy New Year.
Same to you.
Happy New Year to Trayvon Walker. Happy New Year to you. The Jaguars finish off 2023 in emphatic fashion. A dominating shutout here at EverBank Stadium. Trayvon Walker, Josh Allen, 5 sacks combined. We'll go check out the locker room in just a bit. For now, I'm Brent Martineau, Action Sports Jacks.
All right, let's go off to C.J. Beathard, who's now at the podium meeting with the media. C.J. Beathard, the Jags quarterback.
When you're rolling throughout seasons, they just fly by. It doesn't feel like it's my 7th year in the league either. I look back at some of these rookies and stuff, and I'm like, yeah, I'm not much older than you guys. And reality in football, terms, I am. And it's just kind of weird. But, yeah, it felt young again out there. Felt like a kid out there getting to play and run around and play football. It was fun.
And one of the toughest challenges for you is receiving core. You keep losing guys on there, and then you lost Agnew on that big play. Mm-hmm. How were you able to try to adjust to with what you had at this point?
Yeah, I mean, it's just the guys, they work hard all week, getting reps, Tim and Elijah, those guys that had to step up in the situation when Ag went down. Just the work ethic they put in each week. And, I trust those guys, a lot of those guys that I've got a lot of reps with on the scout team over the last several weeks. So got a lot of reps with those guys. But, having Calvin and Evan in there and Travis and, those starters that have been in there for a while, you kind of lean on those guys. Evan, shout out to him. Congratulations. He, 8th tight end all time to go over 100 receptions. And that's huge. And just having him in there as I guess a crutch to lean on sometimes is nice. So, yeah.
CJ, I know any win obviously feels good, but just knowing the circumstances of this one, what was at stake, snapping a 4-game win streak, what did it feel like to go in and get this one?
It's huge. I think all week we've been in a little slump the weeks before, losing 4 straight, but all week we went in this week knowing with a lot of energy, knowing that what this game meant and what the next week means, knowing that we needed to get this one. I thought the guys played great. It started on Monday or Tuesday in practice when we came out there with a ton of energy, enthusiasm. One of the better weeks of practice we've had, I think, just from an energy standpoint. So guys were locked in from early in the week, and it showed out there on the field today.
CJ, you got the majority of the practice reps the last 2 weeks and 3 of the last 4 weeks. How much did that play into your efficiency today and your comfort level with the players on the offense?
A lot. It definitely helped a lot having banked those reps with guys like Calvin and Evan, because they move so differently than some other guys just in the league, and it was nice having practiced with them for really the last several weeks, getting reps and routes on air, one-on-ones, all that kind of stuff. So I think that was definitely beneficial.
And along those lines, it's winning in next week in Nashville. And how much did today do you think would help you if you have to start next week because Trevor's shoulder doesn't allow him to play?
Yeah, I mean, I think from a confidence standpoint, not only for myself but as a team, I think winning this game and rolling in this fashion that we did, defense playing well, offense playing efficient, moving the ball, running the ball, I think that'll hopefully give us some momentum going into next week. And we know we've been here before. We've been there last year. It's kind of the same situation. So if I have to go next week, I'll be ready to go. And yeah.
CJ, did you get any coaching after you had that little brief spell in the blue tent about, hey, your backup is a guy who's been here for 3 days. Please don't put yourself in harm's way anymore because you do a little bit of scrambling after that.
Yeah, definitely. They were telling me not to take any more hits, get down, all that kind of stuff. I think we actually had a zone read on the next third down. Impressed staying in the headset. He's like, hey, do not keep the ball, hand the ball off no matter what. So, that's what I did. But overall, I thought the guys protected great and did what they needed to do to get the win.
And how important was it for you coming into this game, watching the defense and seeing the kind of performance they put on today, just making it so much easier for you guys on offense, taking the pressure off?
Yeah, when a defense is playing like that, it takes so much pressure off the offense and off a quarterback to feel like you have to press and do this and do that. So, obviously we'd like to be better in the red zone, but when your defense is playing like that, it's not the worst thing, just kicking field goals and taking care of the football. We kind of knew all week we wanted to protect the ball and move the ball and put up points, and that's what we did. The defense played great. So hats off to those guys, and hats off to Josh for getting this 3 sacks today and getting that record. That's a big deal, and that's awesome.
All right, thanks, CJ.
Yep, thank you.
CJ Beathard, he is the Jacksonville Jaguar quarterback today, and let's break it down for you. Next week in Nashville, a house of horrors for the Jags. Win and you're in. Play clean football. Put that W up there, baby. Get those L's out of here. Stuart will do it later. Win and you're in at 10-7. Tie breaks, everything. Lose, you still have a chance. Understand, somebody's going to be 10-7. Either the Texans or the Colts are going to finish 10-7. Because they're going to beat the other. They play each other next week, and then one of them will be 9-8. So that's why you have to win next week to win the AFC South. If you lose, I don't know if you deserve to be in the playoffs, but you still have an outside shot at a wild card, and it's not that tough. So hopefully they'll be able to do that if they blow the game. But let's take care of business. Play a clean football game next week. You're better than the Titans. Go up there and win. And I think Trevor Lawrence is back, but we shall see what is said throughout the week on that right shoulder. Hopefully we can get him back and get going. But great job by CJ Beathard today. Great job by the Jaguars today. Everybody's happy. Happy New Year, everybody. We'll be back on Action Sports Jacks primetime, 10:30 only on Fox 30, I'm being told by Stuart Weber. They won't let us ring in the new year on CBS. We're being bumped tonight on CBS. It's frustrating. I've asked to be Dick Clark. I'm almost as old, right? And then Brent could be Ryan Seacrest, and we could have a big time. But apparently, no champagne tonight for the boys on Action Sports Jacks primetime. Thanks for hanging out with us on the postgame show. We'll see you tonight. Jaguars win, shutout over the Carolina Panthers, 9-7, 2 straight winning seasons here in Duval. Good stuff. Have a good day, everybody.
Jags Nation, thanks for watching the Action Sports Jacks postgame show. Sponsored by Farah & Farah, the exclusive injury law firm of the Jaguars.